There are so many great lightsaber designs in Jedi Survivor, and I'm constantly tinkering with the colors and designs to try and find something I like, but it wasn't really till I started exploring much later in the game that I found these lightsabers that are absolutely incredible. So today we're going to go through the best lightsaber designs and where to find them. Let's go. Just for clarity here as well, and I won't be spoiling or talking about anything main story related, but we are talking about some lightsabers and where you can find them, as well as seeing some locations that maybe you haven't come across yet, but no story spoilers throughout this video. Let me know in the comments your favorite lightsaber design. We'll start out with a few that are on Koboh, especially some that you can get pretty early. One of the super early ones that you can get, which is potentially one of my favorite and like in the game in general, is the Centauri Kryze lightsaber. So hers comes from Koboh in the Untamed Downs. So you'll come across this little cave which has a like wall that you can shatter. In order to do this, you will need to grab a roller mine from like up the way a little bit. You've got to take the roller mine a fair way, and there is some enemies that will spawn in between. What I would recommend is to go into the cave first and clear out the enemies in the cave, because they don't respawn, whereas the ones that are like sort of on the way there will respawn, and you kind of either have to just like run the roller mine past them or just like hope it doesn't blow up. I originally tried to just like fight them with the roller mine. It just didn't really work, so I ended up just running past them and then bringing the roller mine all the way in, and then you just grab it and throw it at the wall, and then inside the wall is where you will find the chest that contains her lightsaber. This is a really nice lightsaber. I love like the little like curved crossguard and sort of the winged pattern on like underneath that on the hilt a little bit. I really like just the sort of overall design of this lightsaber, and it's one that you can get pretty early in the game. Next we have the Hunter, and this beauty with the tooth pommel is absolutely amazing. So this comes from the giant creature that you will possibly remember from like super early in the Koboh story, where there's the giant creature that you have to sort of like aim your visor at. Eventually you'll actually be able to interact with him by like taming him like you would a mount, and he'll pull his tusks down that you can climb onto. Just don't miss the tusks like I did the first time, but once you climb onto there, he'll take you to a new area that you can access. Now this area also contains a couple of other chests and some secrets in there too, so you can explore a little bit there if you want to. But basically follow the path. There'll be a couple of creatures in your way that you'll have to fight, and then you can glide down to this other section, which there will be more creatures there, and you will see the chest like just like sitting on a ledge next to a shortcut. You can grab that and it'll have the full Hunter lightsaber in there. But the main thing that I really love about this is the tooth pommel. It's such a sick design, but overall this is a pretty cool lightsaber otherwise, but I can't get past how cool the tooth pommel is. It's like my favorite thing. There is one more lightsaber on Koboh that I like, and that is the Edge Hawk. So this one is a little bit harder to get, as you don't get all the pieces just from one chest, but it mostly comes from the water treatment plant, which you will need the force upgrade that you get much later in the story in order to get. So once you've got this and you can pop open the lid, you can go into the water treatment plant. So firstly in here, as you follow the tunnels, you want to immediately go right and then follow that path, and you will get the switch from there. And then if you head back the other way and then do a little bit of climbing, and you'll get the emitter from above, like that first sort of section. There is also the grip. As you sort of follow the exit, you'll get that on the way out. And then as you actually leave, there is another chest that contains the like scrapper haircut, like the haircut from Jedi Fallen Order, which is pretty cool. But the last piece of this set actually comes from Rambler's Reach, like above the mantis. I couldn't find where this was, but I actually found that there's like a chest above the mantis, and I was like, oh, how do I get up there? And then you find that there is a path up here. If you grab one of the mounts, you can use that to sort of like triple jump your way up above onto that platform, and then up in the nest area you'll actually be able to get the pommel up there as well. And there's also another chest up there too if you are looking for it. All right, let's move on to Jedha. Now firstly, is basically as soon as you arrive on Jedha after you finish the story, there's a chest there that you can grab Cere's lightsaber design from. It's just like in the hangar. It's super easy to grab. The next one isn't as easy. It actually takes a little bit of work, but I promise you it's worth it. So the end result here is that you need to get into the Wayfinder's tomb, which is where you find Eno Cordova's lightsaber design. In order to actually open this tomb, you have to complete 3 different path like Jedi puzzles in order to activate the entrance to the tomb. So this is the path of conviction, restoration, and persistence. Now these are sort of littered throughout Jedha. You'll be able to see like their big towers in sort of a triangle pattern with the Wayfinder's tomb in the center. Essentially you need to go to each of these 3 and do the puzzles here. Basically you've got to do those like puzzles sort of like in the base on Jedha, where you've got to push like the orb and it'll like activate things. You've got to get the orb all the way to the top, and then you activate it by pushing the orb into the center. And once that activates, it will open a little platform where you can get a new perk slot. So by doing all 3 of these, you'll get 3 new perk slots. The puzzles aren't too difficult. It's really just like making sure that you're activating the right things at time. One of them I actually found kind of tricky. It took me a little while to figure out the pacing because when you activate the switch, it doesn't like stay active the whole time. So you've got to like activate them in the right order. And that one was like a little tricky, but for the most part, they're not too bad. It's just really having to go there and do them. But once you have activated all three, Cal will say, oh, we can go to the Wayfinder's Tomb, and you go there, stand in the center, and the elevator will take you down. And down there, you'll find a chest that'll contain Eno Cordova's lightsaber design. There will also be a map upgrade here, which will add treasures to your map. So all the Priorite shards, the Jedha scrolls, and the data discs will now actually show up on your map. This is a fantastic upgrade, especially for finding more of the cosmetics, as we're sort of talking about cosmetics here, because you'll be able to find those things that you can then sell at all the shops in order to get those cosmetics. The really important one here, I would say, is actually the Jedha scrolls, because there are tons of these on Jedha, and it directly leads us into my last suggestion here, which is the Justice lightsaber design. I was trying to think of like a Sith lightsaber, and we talked about the Edgehawk, which I think is pretty Sithy, but I do also like the Justice lightsaber as like an alternative. The Justice lightsaber set comes from Sister Tusk at the Jedha base. You go here and you'll need the Jedha scrolls in order to actually purchase these. I love the emitter here with like the blade design. I think that's what gives it that sort of Sith look, and I really like that. I can't wait to get a New Game Plus and to play it with like the red lightsaber, but it's a really decent lightsaber set. And you can also get the other sets that she sells here. She also sells some of the weapon materials as well if you're trying to change like the color and the look of your design. There's plenty here, but having that map upgrade really helps with finding these for getting those sort of cosmetics, and even on Kovo, because it lasts on any planet as well. So that's really helpful just to be able to find these sort of upgrades, because they are really tricky, and you've missed heaps of them, I guarantee. Like, I've missed so many of them. They are basically everywhere. Task does also sell the Serenity Assembly and Detachment sets as well. If you're looking for those, you'll be able to purchase them. Serenity and Assembly, I'm not super partial to, though I do sort of like the Detachment set, especially like the emitter. I like how it sort of encompasses the blade. It's a pretty decent design. There are other lightsabers out there to collect as well, but these are the ones that I would say are sort of worth mentioning, as they're the most unique and the ones that I've enjoyed the most or enjoyed tinkering with, especially like the different materials, as you can find plenty of materials around. I also didn't touch on it too much, but most of these locations that we've talked about here where you found these lightsabers, there's almost always like another hidden chest somewhere that'll contain some sort of material or an upgrade for BD or something like that. There's plenty of those sort of things around, and getting those map upgrades are super helpful to be able to locate these, because they are pretty well hidden in a lot of scenarios. Like, I didn't realize how much stuff I had actually just like missed from not actually noticing it my first through around, and just sort of following the story. Now that I'm spending that time to explore, there is so much actually out there. So definitely recommend doing that, especially paying attention to the rumors. Like, I'm working on a video right now about the rumors, and I honestly did not know that there are so many of these. Like, I missed heaps, and they actually all lead you to one of these sort of an upgrade. So, best example here is the Hunter design. I actually found that out by a rumor that you pick up that tells you how you can go there and find that actual design at the end. So there's plenty of these that you'll come across throughout your playthrough. Let me know your favorite lightsaber design in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.